we didn't even see before because he was just rushing in headstrong. And you'd see as soon as he landed, great positioning, great control. That's taken away with Corky first pick. Looking at those bands, do we actually have anything towards high? It's going to be maybe one or two. I don't know if the Lissandra's him. That's more towards balls.
Yeah, and it actually worries me a little bit that they are banning out this Lissandra. We haven't really seen it come out from the side of Unicorns of Love, and that's such a powerful pick right now.
Well, Unicorns banned it.
Right.
So they're trying to ban out
we don't play it. We don't want to play against it.
Oh, yeah. So you're saying you're concerned that they
don't play it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think they play it at all. Not in the mid lane or the top, just because they banned it. But maybe they didn't want them to second rotate it. They value the Corky a lot. So if they first pick Corky, there's a chance that Cloud9 could have picked the Lissandra on the first rotation. So I think it's like an okay ban.
And I love what they're doing right now, too. They take away the Aurelia, they take away the Gnar. Now, on their first round of the draft, they take away the Maokai as well. They're really trying to push Vizicachi to his limits right here.
It's going to be the Poppy, though. Didn't they play a Poppy into Maokai in their game to get into the LCS?
Yeah, he didn't do great in that game.
Versus Millennium. So he wasn't the star, but they did win and get in the LCS.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I mean, he might do it again, okay? I don't know how his team feels about how he did last time, but they might. I mean, I think it's an okay pick in Maokai. It's a free farm lane.
Yeah. I mean, it's a general consensus right now for top laners. Those are like the 5 main top laners that we're seeing nowadays, so he's probably going to have to dip.
All right, so we do see the pickup now. Morgana and Warwick, Black Shield, Infinite Duress to come out. Only a little bit of lockdown. Can't really kick Warwick out of that or Twisted Advance him to stop him with that Black Shield. So good pickup so far. Now Cloud9 actually has to kind of comp around that. Well, they have to stop Warwick. But a lot of teams, to put this out there, haven't really been minding that Warwick has been in the game.
Yeah, I think it's real. I actually think Cloud9's happy with that. They want to see the Warwick because it's a champion that's not really aggressive pre-6. And it's just going to allow Meteos to do the exact same thing he did last game, where he's just going to get the deep vision in, he's just going to pressure the lanes. And if he can get enough work done in the early game before Warwick hits 6, then I think Cloud9 will have smooth sailing.
Yeah, right. I would be really nervous about running that Warwick against Cloud9, considering that they shut down Shook pretty decently again in their series against Alliance. They handled Infinite Duress really well. They played around it, and it just wasn't very effective.
Yeah, and balls this time on Maokai, he won't have to worry about getting, locked down and not being able to use any of his abilities. The Infinite Duress target is pretty much sneaky at this point. Or even Janna. Now he's got so many ways. They have so many ways to sort of knock Warwick off of his target. It's going to be really difficult, especially with how cheap the Quicksilver Sash is.
Pop and lock in, gets hit up in the 5th pick over here for Unicorns of Love. The LeBlanc holding now for Power of Evil. We'll probably see him lock that in. It has been very strong. Actually, it is locked in. Has been very strong for him just on the screen. It looks different. And now we'll see the pickup coming for Lemonation. He's going to round out the team with here for High. Looking for something in the mid lane. We've seen a lot of Fizz. We saw his talent hover, but we haven't seen the talent come out of it just yet.
I definitely want to see something where High can score a kill early with Lisa and help, because that's probably where they would want to focus. Like, getting Maokai ahead top lane doesn't really have the same effect. If Meteos can control that mid lane with High and keep down basically the whole point of power for the whole team, which is their mid laner.
One thing I want to point out, Syndra is still up. It's a really good pick against LeBlanc. It's a counter pick. But the problem with that is they have Poppy, who's just going to be beelining for you to kill you in team fights. So I think they might want to go with something more mobile, maybe a Fizz. But Fizz is a little dangerous to play into the Warwick.
Or something with a shield.
Looks like we will get the safety of Orianna once again. And that is locked in for Cloud9. We'll see what they can continue to do with this composition, the Corky to be switched around. So we will see the Poppy in the game. It should be quite interesting. I saw D-Man throw his hands in the air, so I know he's excited to see it. And we are going to be back after this short break. We're going into our second game in this best of 5 here, Cloud9 versus Unicorns of Love. We'll be right back from San Jose Intel Extreme Masters.
Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose in the grand final for League of Legends, where Cloud9 lead the way 1-0 here over the Unicorns of Love in the final best of 5. Coming into game number 2, a couple of little changes. Vizichachi going to be running Poppy this time.
I'm really excited about that. I mean, I'm really excited about it, but I also don't think it's going to work against Cloud9, because if they were to have picked the Poppy and Mac Noon was not a person who was playing in North American solo queue and scrimming against Cloud9 a bunch with Poppy, I'd say they wouldn't be prepared. But they're actually really prepared for this because they know how to deal with Poppy. And when we see it, everyone's going to disengage pretty much as soon as Poppy ults and just run away. That's why they picked Orianna and Janna, because both of those people can shield the Poppy alt target, and every single person on their team has either a way of CCing Poppy or running away from Poppy.
So when you're running away from Poppy, do you ignore the fact that there's a Warwick, a Morgana, everybody else locking you up? Because there's a lot of covered, and let's not forget, Power of Evil's got LeBlanc as well.
That's the fear, right? But it's literally just, when Poppy ults, everybody tries to run. And it's going to be really obnoxious, but a Poppy without an ultimate is really useless. And it's actually a pretty long cooldown.
So
we'll see.
Game of cat
I could eat all these words. Poppy could go 15-0, because if Poppy gets going and it gets to late game, even if you're disengaging, if she gets the Ghost Blade and the Trinity Force and all the move speed items, it's going to work anyway.
Well, I have to say, you know, just to brag a little bit, ESLGaming.com Fantasy. I actually picked 4 people from Cloud9 except Balls and Vizichachi for the top
I got
lane.
the same as well, yeah.
You know, I looked this morning before the Cloud9 semi-final. I was in 250th position out of 4,000, so... You know, this game racking in points left, right, and centre for that one.
And don't forget, you've also had the 3 Cloud9 games earlier on today. So,
probably going to be number 1.
Yeah, well, me alongside you, because I got the exact same team.
Number 1.5.
And you get it by alphabetical order then, so I guess I lost that one.
Is that actually the tiebreaker?
I have no idea.
System.
I have no idea how that all works. We are going to, though, get into game number 2 here. Cloud9 1-0 up against the Unicorns of Love. And they're surely going to have to try something different here, because Cloud9 honestly outclassed them in game number 1.
Yeah, they really did. And I wonder, we were talking in between games, whether or not that was...
Whoa! Hello.
A little bit of damage.
Yeah, well, actually, Hylissang missed the Dark Binding, almost caught on hide, so they were already set for that one, because you saw Kikis running in as well. They were set to try and make a level 1 play. Didn't work out for them. But... going back to where we've seen Cloud9 the last few times, we've seen a lot of level 1 invades. Vizichachi's going to eat a sapling there. They're not interested in any lane switches this time, although here they come. They want to get that deep ward.
They all face check, which is really bad as well there. We did actually see the binding coming out, but not enough damage really at level 1. Hyatt actually come around as well. And these shields could be a problem as well for Unicorns of Love.
It's going to be some pretty interesting team compositions working against each other here. We've seen Power of Evil's LeBlanc destroy people. I'm a little bit disappointed in seeing the Warwick, even though it could have tremendous effectiveness, seeing as it is on the 420 patch. But it's just not, in my opinion, it's not his style of jungler.
You can only play Twisted Fate so many times, man.
Once.
Once.
Yeah.
Well, once you've used that gimmick, the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, it's true. But it's the conventional thing. It's something that, as crazy as Unicorns of Love wants to be, Cloud9 seems very prepared for it. They've played into Warwick multiple times, and I think they know what to do against Poppy.
Well, this is the big fight that I really want to see, is Power of Evil versus High. It was somewhat of a null point in the last matchup. We knew that Power of Evil was going to play a passive. It's not something we're used to seeing him do. And throughout this tournament, he has been very aggressive, so we'll see how High deals with Power of Evil's LeBlanc this time. Bjergsen didn't have a fun time on it, that's for sure, but he kind of wasn't expecting it either when he had that Xerath versus the LeBlanc, and again, immediately on his face with that distortion every chance he gets.
Yeah, it's just a case of, I mean, baiting out the command protect really from High there, and then just diving straight onto him afterwards once that shield has run out. Top lane also, a bit of pressure there from Vizichachi. Balls going down to about half health. And Vizichachi starting out there with a pot, so he'll be able to heal himself up thanks to that. Bottom lane seems to be going a little bit better here for Cloud9 than it did in game number 1, getting themselves that Lucian this time around.
Yeah, we'll see how this one works out. Level 2 both being hit at the same time, it seems, and Sneaky played fantastically well. Top lane, I was about to say, how does this work out, a Poppy versus a Maokai? But if a Lee Sin gets involved, it may well not go very well for Vizicachi. It looks like he can just walk away to the tower. The sapling will hit it. Not enough damage there. But that is a sign of things to come, I think, for Cloud9. Looks like Meteos wants to spend some quality time with balls in the top lane.
And they really wanted to give him some breathing room more than anything else, just because Poppy was right up in his stuff right there. A lot of early harass, and the minion wave was pushing against him. So if he would have gone past the midway point, he actually would have been in danger of dying to Poppy. But now that they got that gank off, it's not so dangerous.
That was Power of Evil going super low, actually getting his passive pop there. And it looks like a recall will actually be forced. Meanwhile, Vardag's in this bottom lane also falling low. Sneaky getting every chance he can get to get that double tap onto him and just work away on those health points. Meanwhile, High with that damage, forcing, as I said, Power Evil off, will be able to build himself up. Not only a decent CS lead, but throw almost an entire wave there right into the tower to go to waste.
Yeah, that worked well. And also we see the second Doran's ring coming out from Power of Evil, so he did not go back when he planned. It does mean that actually second Doran's ring coming out of High, so he's not going to be rushing into Morellonomicon either. They're going to hopefully get that little extra hit points.
I think that's what it's about.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of level 6 assassinations out of Power of Evil, and High had some pretty solid shockwaves in the past game. It's just burst protection. Since these guys are most likely going to be doing the Morellonomicon anyway, that doesn't have magic resist, it's almost necessitated, in my opinion, that they get a little extra health, and that's what the double thorns can be used for.
So bottom lane, you see how far back Vardag's actually sitting here. I don't want to get knocked up by Lemon Nation. I see Sneaky managing to hit him almost every single time, despite him sitting so far back on this one. And Hulisang is probably going to be the one that has to protect Vardags as he desperately tries to claw some CS back. Already 10 behind, and when there's only 40 on the board overall, that is a significant number to be down, as Kikis will come and meet face-to-face with Meteos over by the Death Brush. Meteos actually missing the Q there, but they may have baited Kikis into this one a little bit. Or not.
Yeah,
not
Warwick's
really
not going to be doing much.
Exchanged.
Level 4 in the river. To get back to the bottom lane matchup, though, in a bit, there goes Power of Evil.
Yeah, just puts the burst down, not quite enough, and still see Kikis. He's trying to clear out that pink wall. He's going to get some claws down. Meteor's taking a hell of a lot of damage there. Don't forget that red buff still ticking for Kikis, and they will finally. The battle for the pink ward goes Unicorn Love way.
Yeah, there's a mana discrepancy right there between LeBlanc and Orianna. I think that's the main reason they couldn't follow through, because you think of Lee Sin versus Warwick. Lee Sin's just going to dance circles around him, not let Warwick get the auto attacks off, but he actually got a fair number off in that fight and dueled pretty well. They're going to continue to try and punish, though.
Oh, Kikis, wow. Forced to flash instantly there, away from the Q. Could have been death for him, as Meteos will take the big Raptor and the buff with it. There's a TP from Vizicachi onto this top lane as well. We'll be going straight in for that Sheen first of all. Meanwhile, bottom lane, of course, was recalled there by Vardags and will be getting the workings of his Phage. Still sat almost 10 CS behind that of Sneaky, who's still yet to go home.
And if you remember game one, it was actually Vardags who was fairly far ahead of Sneaky in the laning phase, but then the game really transitioned into Sneaky's favor, because Sneaky's Corki knew everything about team fights. He was valking in exactly at the right moment, dodging pretty much anything he wanted with Flash, and just played immaculately. On top of that, that's when Vardags fell off. So if Sneaky is winning the lane again this time, we have to wonder, is it because of Lucian, or is he just on another level right now and going to take over team fights?
Well, we saw double Doran's rings from the mid laners. Didn't expect it to come out from Balzo, so he himself is trying to stack some hit points in that top there. It's going to delay his Rod of Ages for a little while, assuming that's where he's going to go with that Ruby Crystal that's on there. Expecting a bit of damage to come out of Vizicachi. They have hit level 6, but obviously Vizicachi's ultimate's going to give him a damage bonus if he locks it onto balls and tries a one-on-one. How does this duel go? Because it's been a long time outside of the LCS expansion tournament. Obviously, Macnoon suddenly bringing it back to popularity, it's safe to say. We've seen this Poppy in this top lane. How do we see it working out against the Maokai right now? As you can see, actually, that's pretty good for balls.
Listen, finding information on Poppy, unless you're talking to a Poppy player, is hard.
Yeah.
When a lot of people ask me, hey, is Poppy good? I'll basically be like, I hope not. Because she's a really confusing champion to actually understand the damage trade-offs against her. Against Maokai, she's actually very strong, because Maokai, even if she can get Poppy low, has a lot of trouble killing her.
Oh, Power of Evil there, saving that distortion. Actually, Meteos now will find himself behind enemy lines, and he will also have to flash away. So flash for flash. You might say that favors Cloud9, though, with the mobility of Lee Sin as well. Although, well, it's up against a LeBlanc, who's not exactly the less mobile champion.
Whoa, infinite duress on high in the mid lane. You can see, but Kikis has gone way too deep on that. Teleport was even cancelled because it wasn't needed. Don't think he was quite expecting that many people in the mid.
Cloud9 was, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because they knew Kikis was about to hit level 6. Meteos was 6. They knew Kikis had been farming for a while. They're like, as soon as he's 6, he's going to try and capitalize right away. What else is he going to do? Lemon had the window to roam up in the mid lane. He was in the area just in case. As soon as the ult hit, he flashed in for the extra shield and just made it so Kikis was completely ineffective.
Could be double buff control here as well. Double blue buff control, I should specify on that one, after Meteos takes a buff for himself. And you can see on the minimap there that it's respawned on Cloud9's side of the map as well. Hulisang, maybe the one that goes up there to put a ward down and see what they can actually do. Actually, we'll land a binding here onto Sneaky, but his AD carry's kind of occupied right now, trying to claw some of this CS deficit back underneath his own turret as Meteos goes low there in the jungle. Not going to die to it, though. That'll be some real broken shard stuff.
It's been a while since he's shopped as well, so he's going to be able to get pretty powerful. I wonder if he can finish his warrior enchantment this early in the game. He actually can, so that is a really big damage Lee Sin that can come out. If he lands a spell onto Warwick, he can basically solo him.
Wasn't it actually changed in 420 that if you die to a jungle camp, you don't lose your buff?
Really?
Yeah, you don't. You don't lose them anymore.
How would you know that?
Because it's
No,
patch
it's in the
notes.
patch notes. Yeah. All right, then. He would have been fine.
I think I'm right on that. I'm looking
You
for
are
Kobe
correct.
to, give me a nod.
Yeah, thumbs
big
up.
thumbs up
Thumbs
from
up.
Kobe.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, man.
That's all good. As long as Kobe's safe. So, well, Cloud9 at the moment, they have pretty much read Unicorns a lot like a book. They know what is coming, and this time around, without a flash on either Meteos or Power of Evil, it looking like to try and set something up. Of course, he can just distortion away. Sneaky coming out worse off in a seeming duel down the bottom lane right there. Vizichachi still looking to put some damage back down onto balls. He does manage to get that slam on towards him. Power of Evil, without the blue buff, is going to cause him problems. And oh, hello, this is Cloud9 making a move. Are they going to? Oh, they're going to clear a pink. That's not what they want to do. And they're going to continue on down towards the bottom. Already the bottom lane. They need to respond. They're not moving.
They know where they are. They just saw them clear the pink ward, and Power of Evil was in range. Unless they're daring them to come in, they have a teleport on Vizichachi. They know they have a TP advantage, so they could have a 3v4 on a turret with Morgalt, and that dissuades Cloud9 enough to decide against the dive.
Well, they've gone completely away from that one. Wow, flash instantly from balls there with Kikis just moving out of the brush. Didn't want to even risk that one at this point, playing it very safe.
But listen, Cloud9 understands Warwick. He knows if he gets ulted right there, he is dead. So the instant he saw him, he knew he had no backup. He's not going to have a Janna flashing in to shield him this time. So he just gives up his flash because Warwick was in the area. They know they have to respect it.
Well, they do know that Meteos is now coming towards them. Pink ward was put down on the bottom tri-bush. That will get clear now. Hulisang will not be able to protect that one. Roaming down the river, though, is going to be Power of Evil. He gets instantly spotted out. We do have Kikis nearby as well, so it is a little setup. Infinite Duress going down on high. Is it going to be enough? The chains will come up. Shockwave pulls it back. Is he going to get away from it? The support is coming in. Kikis is going to take too much tower damage. Lemonation comes out. And Meteos pops the 2 perfectly. Such a good kick there that will land and clean themselves up and get him the blue buff.
That did not go well for Unicorns of Love whatsoever. High took an incredibly long time to kill with the Orianna, hence the shield, and then just such a great shockwave to have them so low by the time they were actually going to finish him off. I feel like this is just Cloud9's strat coming into this event. Let's just give these teams Warwick because no one expects to get Warwick. And it's not like they're going to be masters of playing him. Here with Kikis and Power of Evil, their mindset is, yeah, every time we have a Warwick ult, we get a kill. So therefore, every time he Warwick's ult, they're going to keep pushing until they get that kill. And Cloud9 knows the right ways to delay it long enough, they can turn stuff around. Now Meteos is head and shoulders above the rest of the game, 3-0 on Lee Sin, and Cloud9 has control.
Yeah, Chalice there as well from high. which is something that a lot of players have been shying away from. And we'll see. I mean, that obviously helping him out there, getting rid of some of the damage that Power of Evil can put his way. And now Sneaky and Lemon Nation are pushing onto this bottom tower. And honestly, there's no one anywhere near that for the Unicorns of Love. This is going to be tower number 2 going over to Cloud9 before there's any defensive response. However, Hylissang is coming in. Binding goes straight down the middle.
Great dodge.
Well, Kikis is here. Are they going to go for it? Infinite Dress off cooldown in just a second's time. Kick onto Kikis. He's going to use it onto Meteos, but the shield is there to prevent it. And as you mentioned, they're going deep on this one. Teleport. Fizzy Chachi joins in. Balls follows in as well. Lemonation will get taken down. Sneaky's in trouble. He's going to get smashed down by Fizzy Chachi. Now they turn towards Meteos and Balls. Balls is going to get locked down. This teleport is not working well for him. Meteos off the side versus Power of Evil. Is he going to have enough? This is Meteos. He's got the Hex Drink, remember. He's got a lot of damage. Doesn't risk it going in towards there. And it will be Power of Evil getting the shutdown bonus. And that was a 4-for-0 to the Unicorns and the Dragon.
What a perfect and timely fight there for Unicorns of Love. I'm pretty sure Meteos thought Kikis' ultimate was down because he would not have danced that dance at the Tribe Rush. It came off cooldown pretty much the instant he used it, saving his life. It got enough damage on the Meteos. The teleport came in from Vizichachi as well in such a great spot because it was after Cloud9 had already engaged the fight, so the option of disengaging a Poppy was gone. They picked up so much, completely evened the game, and since they do have the Warwick Poppy, they have the late game. If they get there, they'll win it.
Yeah, if you look as well at the ultimate, he actually had it back up the entire time there, did Kikis.
Wow. Well, he got flash kicked very early on and just ulted to get some damage down and managed to escape. At this point, Hylissang was waiting for that moment to get in the middle with Morg to get the ultimate off, and it's just a collapse from Unicorns of Love. They actually beat High. High's pushing the mid lane right there. Power of Evil is making all the kills happen, and really good presence of mind once this Meteos resonating strike or Sonic Wave missed, that he'd be able to go in for the kill because he knows he's maxing that. He knows if he dislands his combo a little bit, he'll get the shutdown.
I will say the one thing that I think High took the blue buff, I believe he did, but Power of Evil got himself it, not too sure. I think he stole... Yeah, it may have been from a kill. I'm pretty sure he actually stole Cloud9's as well, so it was a bit of a steal back and forward.
Okay.
But Sneaky off at the side, Pink Ward being protected. But I'm not sure they want to protect it this time around with Power of Evil nearby. This is definitely going to turn things around. This was already, as you said, Cloud9 knew what they were doing. They knew what they were up against. They still do. They're still well aware of how to deal with the likes of a Poppy, the likes of a Warwick. This is something they practice hard on. But with the main Dragon objective down, I'm wondering why they're actually fighting it right now.
Yeah, it almost just seems like they're hoping Unicorns of Love make a mistake. This composition in particular, you know, no Thresh for Cloud9, instead the Janna, is all about the disengage. So their ability to capitalize on things really rests in the hands of Meteos. And no flash on him, especially knowing the Warwick ult is up as well, and no real tank stats on Meteos yet. Their playmaking potential from Cloud9's side is actually really hamstrung, whereas Unicorns of Love are the ones who get to make plays.
And this may be one of those moments as we see Turret now going to be worked down by the four men there. There's a shockwave. It actually landed on Vardags. Not really super ideal in that scenario, but it killed off the minions, crucially, and pulled in Vardags, and they hold on to that tower there thanks to the shockwave that comes out from High.
It kept them in the... I wouldn't say in the game. They're clearly still in the game, but they kept them safe the tower for now. Yeah. I think we're in for a fantastic game. This pick and ban seems to be working well. Vizichachi, let's see how well he can get going. Trinity Force completed after that big fight, which is a big, big deal for a Poppy, honestly. And of course, Vardag's got his completed as well. I mean, you can already see Balls having to play a little bit more defensive. Their elimination had taken some punishment in that mid lane, but everything covered off. And Cloud9, they took a step back right now. You can see they've clearly took their foot off the gas. They were starting to push, starting to pressure. Meteos was in full control, but I think that definitely disrupted them a fair amount.
Well, so much of what Cloud9 has done against Warwick is controlled the early game and then never given up the gold lead or really anything back. And with that mistake they made at the Dragon Pit, they've made the critical mistake. Their early game advantage was forfeit. And Unicorns of Love still have Poppy and Warwick, but this time they don't necessarily have to claw from behind thanks to that Dragon fight.
I don't think they're done on that top lane yet. It looks like they're going to try and set up for him. Kikis hasn't backed away. And it looks like they're going
the
for it.
ultimate. Vizichachi going to come in from around the side. Balls will get his ulti running, and that will be enough to actually ward them off here. So not quite able to finish off. Rod of Ages obviously offering a lot of tankiness. Lemon Nation had actually moved up from the middle lane as well to try and assist, or be there to assist if that had gone even further. We are going to see Shockwave bringing in Hurley-Sang, and there it's followed up by Sneaky with the culling. Minions actually knocking a lot, or taking a lot of that damage away. Vizichachi and Kikis came down as well. And in the end, we see ultimates from Cloud9 mostly there really burn.
Really interesting interaction there. It's almost like Power of Evil outplayed Hylissang. And that's why they lost that, because he baited the Shockwave just right on high. He knew he was going to counter that way, and he juked out. But Hylissang was like, all right, LeBlanc's going in, let's go, and nearly died himself, had to burn his flash and exhaust just to get away.
Oh, well, there's a pause, and it's not looking like it's definitely not Unicorns of Love, because they're like, huh?
Why are we paused?
Yeah.
It's the first reaction.
I don't know, maybe it is. It looks like it's Vardax that's actually paused the game, so looks like he's calls for the pause. You can see that down the bottom there. See the Vardax or Hylissang. No, Vardax is definitely the one that's looking towards it. Remember again, as we were talking with St. Vicious, like the pressure on these guys, they can't talk right now. They've just had that little play in the middle, a little miscommunication in the middle, and they can't talk about it.
And here's the thing we were talking about between games too, just from a relative pressure perspective. These guys were playing with absolutely nothing to lose yesterday against Team Solomid, and they looked so good. But they get their first dash of a bunch of fame. I know the Reddit threads were like crazy. Power of Evil gained thousands and thousands and thousands of Twitter followers basically overnight. And suddenly these guys have expectations to live up to. Oh, we have to pick crazy stuff and succeed. Oh, we just crushed TSM. We better win this thing for Europe, right? And they're the next Cloud9, all these things. Suddenly they kind of have something to play for. So definitely in that first game, they did not look like the same team that beat Team Solomid, and pauses like this don't actually help you get your bearings very well.
So that's the thing, right? They beat Lion in the first game, which, you know, I think on paper were the weakest opponents coming into this tournament. They struggled in game number 1 to actually finish that one out. They beat TSM, which, you know, is always going to be TSM at the end of the day, but how good are TSM right now?
Yeah.
With Santorin being brought in there in the jungle, how good are they at this point? On the other side, Cloud9 took down Pain, who were the better of the two teams that went in the quarterfinals that didn't get through, I'd say. And they beat Alliance earlier on, where Alliance took one game and the others could have been with a few different things happening in the Alliance's game. So, I don't know, I still think it's really hard to actually say that Unicorns of Love, are they favorites against Cloud9? Probably not.
No.
Probably not by quite a margin even.
Yeah.
As long as they have the nothing to lose attitude in their head, they'll be all right. Because definitely this game, when they were able to turn that fight at the Dragon Pit, it showed some good stuff. And I think they're in a great position to make a hell of a game out of this one. And if it becomes a 1-1 series, it'll be great.
Look at Meteos waiting around the side. Is he waiting too long? No, because that tower's taking punishment. I don't think they're going to go for it. Oh, they are. High is still down there as well. Waiting in the wings. Baron, Dragon up in 30 seconds.
Oh, this is clever.
No, Kikis is he going to walk into it? They may have pulled the trigger a little too early. Look at Meteos like, no, okay, I won't go.
They are so respectful of that Warwick ult. It is ridiculous right there. I feel like High pulled the trigger way too early right there. And some nice LeBlanc poke.
Well, the Dragon is 10 seconds away, which is what Cloud9, they know they need to go for.
Kikis is going back.
He's got free time in that top lane still at the moment, and teleport available.
Kikis has gone back to base, though. So unless he rushes back really quickly, Cloud9 will be able to take this one uncontested.
Well, 4,000 HP. Scrying Orb used by Vardags. What can they do? Can they steal? No, they can't. Power of Evil tried to dive over there. Phosphorus Bomb came out from Vardags. They ended up losing that Dragon over to Cloud9. For now, though, they're pushing that top lane out as well. Balls will actually TP right back into that and should be able to hold on to it.
Quite critical that they're able to get that Dragon to even things out. Now both teams have the 8% bonus attack damage and ability power.
4 members of Power of Evil, 5 members of Power of Evil. Power of Evil is kind of the team. Oh no, was not expecting them to go into Meteos. The chains will be enough, and Team Power of Evil locked themselves up a kill there. But what I was talking about is the collapse on towards that top lane, which Cloud9 were not expecting. They'd all completely backed away. We saw that one teleport from Balls to just quickly protect off, but they are out of position right now. Again, though, as we saw against Alliance, Sneaky off on his own, pushing the bottom lane, and he's going to try and draw them out from this one.
Classic Cloud9. They're just hoping that things go well with the rest of the squad. Poppy's pretty good at diving turrets, though. This is an incredibly dangerous ploy.
Oh, there is Balls moving forward. Vizichachi going to come around from the side. He pops the ultimate down onto Janna. Goes for Balls on this one. And in the end, actually, they end up not getting a kill, not taking the turret. And Sneaky will get that down the bottom. There is a dive into high, but not taking too much damage, honestly.
He's still going. He's still going along that bottom lane. We saw him do this against the Lions. He got in, got the inhibitor turret. Without vision, though, Cloud9 are like, okay, now's the time to back away. They don't know where the unicorns are. Teleport is available for Vizichachi, and they will back off and protect him. But Cloud9, again, tactical prowess works wonders for them.
Yeah, I mean, you said that was typical Cloud9. What wasn't typical just before that was Meteos getting killed inside his own jungle. They had very little down in terms of wards. You can see instantly after that happened, though, they've put down a lot of wards on the top side of their own map.
It's all about the location. Cloud9 was focusing on the dragon, so he got caught out of position. It's a completely opposite quadrant of the map to the dragon side that they were worried about, and it was a very smart choice for Unicorns of Love to attack that spot. They just made a bit of a misstep later trying to overpush. I mean, what are they going to do against Orianna shields, Janna shields, while they're attacking the tank? It was a very, very failed dive.
And also, you noticed, as soon as Vizichachi did come around, it was Balls they dived on in that top lane turret, and everybody did just get the hell out of there. High gonna pull that shockwave out. Power of Evil could have enough to take him down. Is the shield gonna be enough? High pulls it up with the help of Lamination. The shield's doing the work, and Power of Evil is taken down.
I mean, there was a question, what would prevail, friendship or love? And the friendship of Lemon Nation right there saved him, because they had more people there to stop the Ignite ticks and eventually finish off Power of Evil.
I'm not sure it was really friendship or love that decided that, more like a shockwave and a monsoon. They're going to come around again. Kiki's moving in from this one. Ultimate just knocked straight away from them. High isn't there right now. Vizichachi is on his own. Meteos actually having that Q dodged away. And no more will come of that one. But that's the thing. Not Kiki straight out of his ultimate becomes a different fight altogether.
Yeah, it really does. He hasn't been able to pull off too many exquisite ultimates. A few of them are still fight changing, and it's because Cloud9 is putting so much respect to that. It's really a tricky spot for Cloud9 to be in, because they are in such a reactionary position to what Unicorns of Love do. They are trying to counterplay the Warwick by either baiting him into bad ults or giving the utmost respect if they're completely on their own. And against Poppy, they're playing a completely disengaged type strategy. So where is Cloud9 actually going to make their plays? And that falls to Meteos and High, where when they had Orianna Jarvan, they could pull that off. Orianna Lee Sin's a little bit trickier, especially when they have so much to respect of Unicorn's team comp.
Vizichachi's off on his own, keeping that farm ticking away. Something the problem is, though, for Kiki is, while Infinite Duress is a fantastic ultimate, it's only going to be relevant for so long until those QSS has been built up. We've seen a lot of them throughout this tournament already, and once that's on there, I mean, yes, they've got the chain. They've got, obviously, Infinite Duress, Power of Evil can jump on them, Distortion, Hilisan can try and lock them up as well, but it is only relevant for so long until he basically becomes a melee champion that just does damage.
And it's not like these teams have the gold flow to do the one-shot Warwick. They're too heavily denied in the early game that they have to go tank. After Skirmisher's Saber with the Devour enchantment, they have to go tank. So they can't do the Blade of the Ruin King or the Wit's End to really get that one-shot going. I'm not sure if it's a great competitive pick against Cloud9. We'll see in this game, though, because it's still real close.
It's a lot of damage there. They are on towards High, but again knocked away straight off by the Monsoon. Hilisan trying to get around. That's a good exhaust on solution, but they get away from it. Vizichachi, though, is going into the back line. He's got one. Can he get over coming through? And he's gone down. He did get the kill there in the end, so that's a 3 for 2, actually, in favor of the Unicorns of Love.
And more importantly, the AD carrier Vardax is still alive. There's a wave coming in. They're going to keep putting pressure on this tower.
Wow. So the strategy of everyone run away from Poppy might need some tweaking when he gets that fast.
They ran away.
Swiftness boots, Ghost as well, and they can continue the dive because they won that fight.
Well, mistake actually. Power of Evil wasn't able to take Lemonation down. The leash actually caught onto a minion. Vardax and Kikis did not follow it up, and Balls, he's able to just beat them away from this one. Power of Evil still looking around the side, not going to get onto anything. So with the Dragon up in 2 seconds, it's actually Cloud9 that are in the better position.
Yeah, Dragon number 2 could give him a bit of an edge. That fight was just so crazy. I don't even think he got off his shockwave because of all the burst damage. What a move right there by Power of Evil. Nobody expected him to stick around at 30% health. They thought he was going to be back. What a great time to pick up a kill.
Here we go then. Dragon started by Cloud9. Where is the jungler? He's nowhere near because he's only just coming back into this one. And there is the Dragon going down for Cloud9. Their second of this game. Nicely done.
I mean, Vizicachi wasn't near there, but especially with Power of Evil being so low. I mean, the kill that Power of Evil picked up was a consolation prize because we had already assumed the Dragon was gone. And I think the rest of them maintained that mindset afterwards, which is why we had that Dragon take. So yeah, this last fight was a flash ult by Kikis, and Hai was so worried about just running away. Really nice of Vizicachi to use his ultimate on Hai. Unfortunate Hai didn't quite realize that. Otherwise, he could have shockwaved him away if he placed it just right. But it's just the speed with the distortion, Boots of Swiftness, and the Ghost to get on top of a very kitey Sneaky.
And that's the problem they may have. Yes, they stopped Kikis getting a full channel of his ultimate off, but they use a lot of CC to do that, and that means that Vizicachi, in theory, can just go running on, especially with the swiftness to stop the rest of the C, which is mostly slow-based then.
Yeah, the theory of how you play against Poppy, I still feel like is sound, but it is counter to the theory of how you stop the Warwick right now because it's so much assassination potential on one person, and Cloud9 is built to be able to deny an assassination on one person, but then Unicorns of Love just gets to do it again when Vizicachi comes flying in with his move speed and Poppy.
One thing they are doing for sure is Vizicachi is getting farmed. He's down the bottom again. He was up the top a moment ago, and he's continuing to clear those waves. Wave after wave after wave, crashing against the towers, and he will do a hell of a lot of damage if he's given free time on a tower. So they have to deal with him every time he's pushing this up. You can see they're all backing away. All of those wards, actually, that Cloud9 had placed in the jungle in preparation to start putting pressure of their own onto Unicorns of Love, is kind of being counterintuitive right now because Unicorns of Love are pushing back once again with 4 members in the mid and Vizicachi down the bottom. But I'm not sure anyone wants to deal with him right now.
I don't know if anyone can deal with him right now unless they bring a whole bunch of friendship. And I mean, Balls gets well stunned. There goes half his health.
Oh, but he's got Hai with him.
Oh, there we go, Shockwave, but the ultimate onto
very
Balls
nicely
in the
done.
exactly perfect time. Actually will knock Hai away. Look at the health. Absolutely destroys him there. Sneaky will get some damage off, but look at the speed of him.
And now they're taking the mid turret as well. They're pushing in. The minion waves coming in. Remember, Kikis is going to tank this one through. They know how to peel away from a Poppy, but it seems they don't know how to kill one just yet. It's as it stands, it is going to be the 4th turret of the game for Unicorns of Love. That is the middle inner turret. There's a big wave pushing up the top, but I think Unicorns want to just peel away from this one and take the chance they've got of really Vizicachi continuing to get strong. And he's only going to get stronger from here on out. That's the problem.
And it's a big one. It is a really big problem for Cloud9. They got to be wrapping their brains around how could they adapt to this one. Monty was talking about it earlier on the analyst desk. Why he loves watching Cloud9, though, is because any situation, whether it be unforeseen, whether they've experienced it before, they seem to usually have an answer of at least a decent percentage play because things are actually starting to look pretty grim for them right now, knowing the power of the Warwick LeBlanc assassination, but more importantly, knowing the fact that they tried to just 1v3 a Poppy and nearly killed 2 of them their own. So what are they going to do? I'm actually not sure here.
Well, he's down the bottom again, pushing in, and it seems that Baron is the answer.
Ignore him, go for Baron.
Well,
there we go.
They've got a TP. Yeah.
The question is, do they spot this in time? There's the TP, look, on the top side, onto that pink ward. Cloud9 won't actually spot this one. Are they going to be quick enough? They do manage to get Baron, but will they get out of the pit alive here? They're going to have to just jump over the wall. There's
4 out of 5 of them have flashes.
Across the board, you can see Kikis and Power of Evil have moved to the backside. There's a dive in from LeBlanc. A lot of damage across the board. Oh, the shockwave will be pretty much whiffed there. Kikis does go down. Power of Evil jumping happening. Huli-san says thank you very much, but they all jump over the back. Perfectly timed. They lose balls, but it's in exchange for a kill and the Baron.
Power of Evil gets the leash. They're not done yet. They're going to keep on chasing. As you mentioned, all flashes and they're down. Can Power of Evil clean up anyone? Oh, Dark Binding lands on Meteos. That's going to be an easy pickup. They're going to come around, or is it? Tries to get away. He's not good yet. He gets out of there. Meteos, how did they not close him down? I think everyone just expected him to die, and instead he gets out clean. Sneaky did get picked off while we were watching the top lane by Vizichachi. But nonetheless, Cloud9 now have Baron.
That was still just an insane move by Cloud9. Knowing that they had 4 flashes and the only one who couldn't escape was the Maokai, but more importantly, the patience to not flash back immediately, because that's what Unicorns of Love was expecting, and therefore they put some flanks behind the pit. They instead waited for Unicorns of Love to try and get them in the pit and then escaped out the back. Yes, they still lost 2, but they got 1 in return. They have the Baron, they can press with some empowered minions, and they've at least kept themselves in this game.
That's why you've got to hate Poppy. Constant chasing pressure. And because of a horrible little yodel face, but that's another, issue completely. And Vizichachi 5-1-2 Brutalizer added in. Obviously, Blade of the Ruin King just adds to the speed that he has before. And he's again on the bottom lane.
Maybe if they send 4 this time.
They're sending 4 this time. They got a couple of Baron buffs, so that's how they're going to deal with the Poppy this time around. Can they clamp in quick enough, though?
No.
He's a quick little bugger, and he's just going to run straight away. She.
Well, Vizichachi.
I mean, yeah. Dragon up in 4 seconds, though. That's what they want. That would be their third stack, and that is how they deal with it. Vizichachi running away from this one. Look at this, though. He's running into the arms of Meteos, who kicks straight in there. Ultimate will get used. Will he be able to run away from it? Instead, he's going to try and turn the damage around while the rest of his team take Dragon. Look, they're on Dragon.
What a play right there. And they still burn so much, but the Dragon is done for. Vizichachi finally goes down. This could be a bit of a base race.
Well, Unicorns of Love, they're pretty good at these base races. We've already seen it already. The question is,
it's a tricky one.
What's going to happen?
There's an added element to this one. There's a Baron buff on Lemon Nation, so if he gets empowered minions, it makes it much harder to push. And the Janus shield's coming through. I don't think they're going to win this one. They have to get back.
Balls has come through. Power of Evil getting locked up there, taking a lot of turret damage as well. Will he go down? No, he got the shield, which certainly helped out. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Cloud9 are going to push them back. The bottom lane is still being pushed. Sneaky and Meteos will get the inhibitor turret. They're going to get the inhibit itself. We are seeing Power of Evil recalling. He's actually cancelled the recall, so that inhibitor goes down. No real problem, and now Power of Evil will be chased through the enemy jungle. Hai will be able to speed himself up a couple of times, and Meteos and Sneaky coming back through the bottom of the UOL jungle. Now we'll meet 3 men. Meteos gonna go deep. Kicks by that. He gets him over the top of the wall as well. Kiki's trying to get in there. Meteos safeguard onto Sneaky. They might lose both of these. The rest of the team finally comes around. Sneaky's still alive. Shockwave goes down. Meteos is in there as well. Vizichachi finally joins in. He's put the ultimate on Janna. Can they now clean things up? He's super low and will surely go down once the ultimate actually runs off. There is a twisted advance, and Vizichachi goes down. And that's a 3 for 2. Inhibitor is down, don't forget.
The fight just keeps going. Power of Evil goes in again.
Oh, he misses the leash, misses the double leash with his ultimate, and the mid turret's now going to go down as well. There's the Dark Binding from Hiliesang, nothing to follow it up though. So Cloud9 picking up everything. Oh, Power of Evil locked up. Hai's going to go through, has no mana left, but it doesn't matter because Balls is there, and they're just cleaning up. Hai locked off just outside of tower range, and Cloud9, honestly, their tactical play has constantly impressed throughout the Worlds, and once again here in the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose final.
What a great control of chaos they have as a team. Everything is going in every different direction. They start winning the base race, but it was so much more than that. The fight spanned pretty much the entire map, and they did come out on top. You look at the stats at the end of the day, the inhibitor is down. Poppy was not a monstrous factor. They can regain some control with wards because now Unicorns of Love is trapped a little bit in that bottom lane, and they've bought themselves a second lease on life, basically.
I would say there is a Yomu's Ghostblade being picked up by Vizichachi, so Poppy's not done yet, but again, they're going to go strengthening numbers, try and collapse on him. Warwick did just go back, and this is something that can put damage down on him. It's sneaky. Good Howling Gale just interrupts it. Elimination, the ultimate use on Power of Evil comes in support. This time around, Vizichachi realizes, I should probably back away from this fight.
Great job. Lemonation instantly knew that he'd been ulted and started the peel. He still have his ultimate off if he needed more for that type of peel, and they're actually starting to take control. It's a game of windows now. With Poppy ultimate down, Cloud9 can try and make a power play.
Windows 10.
The window. What are you talking about?
Window.
There's a window of opportunity.
He's talking about a different kind of windows. Anyway, Cloud9 pushing through onto that inhib turret in the middle lane. Power of Evil will dive pretty deep, not doing really much, if any, damage though. They are, however, clearing out those minions pretty quickly. But how long will they be able to hold on to this one? Power of Evil playing a dangerous game, really diving in. If anyone's quick enough to actually get one element of CC off onto him to lock him down, I think they can burst him out.
Well, the Baron buff is down at the moment, so Cloud9, while they've had a lot of control, they need to be a little cautious in this because it may have given them a little bit of a false confidence. They are dealing with super minions on the bottom lane, but they could easily lock up still. Infinite Duress still available. Power of Evil getting the poke in there. That's a deep dive from Balls, but he's locked him up and taken him down, and that is a big, big problem. Balls is going to get focused on by Vizichachi. Vardax is taken down. Cloud9 could just run through the base with the 2 AD carries down.
Well, Vizichachi does have his ultimate back up right now, and it is so hard to push against the Poppy inhibitor going down, but I don't know how much more they can get. They're going to try for something.
Well, super minions are all in there. The Nexus turrets are already falling here, which is pretty bad for the Unicorns of Love. Vizichachi may give it one last try here to hold on to this game, but he will be held out of the fight for quite a while. His ultimate will run away, and the minions, they need to push them through so they actually tank up these turrets. They'll start to move in there. Second Nexus turret will be finished off here. 5 seconds for Power of Evil, 10 seconds still for Vardax. Nexus is being hammered away on. They're picking up more kills. The Nexus will go down, and Cloud9 pick up game number 2 and move on to game point here at the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose final.
What a battle that was right there. Cloud9 had their hands completely full, and just when it seemed like Poppy was at a point that was too much to handle, Cloud9 handled it. They played the entire map, they took the Baron, they used the minions, they capitalized on the fact that he was consistently split away, and they just made the better decision so many times in a row.
And that's what I said about Power of Evil, you know, diving in. Someone's going to be ready to CC him at one point if they're quick enough. This time it was Balls who got dragged the entire way into the base. But once you get rid of one there, I mean, you're going to be able to break through that defense. And Cloud9 stepping up once again. 2-0 now. Can they close out this final 3-0, a whitewash final?
Well, I mean, we talked about, obviously, how they would control Vizichachi, and it was just great tactical play. That's what they do. And again, sneaky down the bottom lane, pushes in. He caused the problems already because he'd already put pressure on that inhibitor turret and took it down.